You know what? I'm just sat here thinking about this tank that I've got here on my desk. This is my little desk tank, my Blackwaterscape desk tank. I just was thinking, like, you know what? Keeping fish tanks is really not that difficult. And I thought, why not make a video about it, explaining what is going on with that tank and like why fish keeping is not that difficult. Right, and this here is the tank I am talking about. Now, at first sight, it might look like it's kind of like, you know, half empty, not really being looked after. And well, that might be a little bit true. I don't really do anything to this tank. And essentially, it's just natural. The thing I really love about it is the plants that are growing out the top. This is pothos here. And it started, I put like a tiny stem, like this small, just in there. And it's grown out to this amazing piece, which looks very natural. Now, this tank is a Blackwater tank, essentially meaning there's not supposed to be many plants in there. There's not supposed to be much color in there. It's basically black water, you know. Yeah, the wood will release tannins and stuff like that. Now, if you ask me, you know, I haven't done anything to this tank for about a year now, because it's been set up for about a year. I haven't really touched it at all, yet it is thriving. As you can see, we've got shrimp in here. So we've got these little shrimp here, these crystal red Caradina shrimp. They look amazing, you know, and I don't know, there's quite a few in here. I think they're breeding as well. I've seen some babies. Other than that, I don't think we have any fish in here. So we don't have any fish, although there might be some coolie loaches, I don't know. But mainly shrimp, and I really don't do much to this tank. So every now and then I'll fill up the water, and that's about it. Like, I'll just fill up the water because it evaporates a little bit. And yes, there is a filter in here. There's actually a tiny filter in the back there bubbling away. I've got like this small little air pump. And yeah, there is a little filter in there, but I don't think it does much. Anyway, I might be working here, you know, on my laptop, and I got my screens here. I'll be either studying or like editing this video or something like that. And then every time I can just look over, just look at this tank, you know. And it's just so fun to see nature do its thing. I would say this is like a very natural tank, because I don't do anything to it. It's kind of like an ecosystem. And, well, there is life in there, because as you can see, these plants, this Anubias here, is still alive. We got this moss here, like these moss balls, and it is alive. Yeah, and then of course the shrimp are alive too. There's one here. There's a few more. I don't know. I can't see them right now. But those are alive too, and they're doing great. I think my point is just what I'm trying to make is, this is also not a very big tank. This is a small tank, you know, is that keeping fish tanks is really not that tricky. Now, this is not the only tank I have, of course. I'm going to show you a couple other tanks that I have that require basically no maintenance. For example, my Dual Rio 450, that's downstairs. Let me go show you that. Right, so now we are downstairs, and this tank here is my Dual Rio 450. Now, this tank, I do absolutely zero maintenance to, and as you can see, it looks amazing. Like, you can't tell me that this tank doesn't look good. Now, if you really want to know the truth about how you can get a tank to have zero maintenance, definitely go watch this video up here, because I made a whole video on that, on how I got this tank to be zero maintenance. Like, the last time I did a water change on this tank has got to be at least 6 months ago, maybe longer. And look at the health of the fish. The fish looks super healthy, very nice and big, nice coloration. And yeah, I got these beautiful red Backmanica Peru angelfish. Look at the colors on them. It's absolutely insane. Like, you really don't know, but like, angelfish got nice colors. Anyway, we got a sharky in here as well, my red, rainbow shark thingy bob. There's also these cories in here. Look at them just chilling. Look at this huge golden gourami. Anyway, point being, there's a lot of fish in here, and they are doing all fantastic. So like I say, this tank is pretty simple. It's really not that difficult. What I'm trying to tell you is, doesn't matter if you've got a tiny tank or a mega big tank, it doesn't have to be difficult. Like, keeping fish tanks can be simple and really doesn't have to be too complicated. Again, if you really want to know how, then go check out that video, but I can show you the basics. Essentially, the basics are, have a tank with real live plants and you'll be good. What we want to try to do is recreate nature. You know, in nature there are plants. What do the plants do? Well, they use nitrates to grow. Where does the nitrate come from? Well, it comes from nitrite. Where does nitrite come from? From ammonia. What do fish produce when they poop and pee? It's ammonia. So essentially, you know, they are cohabitating. The plants and the fish cohabitate. I think there's a special word for that in biology, something like co-mutualism, blah, blah, I don't know, whatever. My biology is not that good. But I do know this, like, you know, if you put plants and a living organism like fish together, I mean, plants are also living, don't get me wrong, then they're going to live, they're going to cohabitate, and they're going to create this ecosystem, which you're looking at right now. This here, I would call an ecosystem. You got the plants, you got the fish, you got different bacteria, you got algae, whatever, everything is in here. Now you might be wondering, well, I don't see any algae. The thing is, there is algae. Like, in every tank there is algae, it's just there's not too much algae because it's nice and in balance and under control. Now, one thing I will say is to not take this advice from me too easily. Like, I know it's easy to think like, oh, this random dude on the internet said that, you know, keeping fish tanks is super simple and that everyone should do it. I'm not saying that. Fish tanks and keeping fish is definitely not for everyone. You still have to have some passion and dedication towards these fish. Now, because they are living animals, you see. The thing is, what I'm talking about is once you gain some certain amount of level of knowledge, then keeping fish tanks doesn't have to be too difficult. If you know about the nitrogen cycle, if you know about how an ecosystem works, if you know about how fish behave and interact, then you can create a setup that doesn't require much of your time and effort. Instead, it can be just a beautiful masterpiece in your house or living space or wherever it is, or even your office, to just look at and enjoy. Because let's be honest, isn't that what, you know, keeping fish is about? It's about enjoyment, right? We enjoy seeing these fish swim and, yeah, just enjoy their lives as well. Now the thing is, the tanks that I have here in the fish room, or the fish shop, whatever you want to call it, these tanks are not that easy. I mean, they are in their own way, but they're not like the tanks where you got plants and everything looks after itself. Now, with these tanks, you know, they are bare bottom. They have a few plants in there, but that's just as decoration. And with these, I do have to do maintenance. However, I've made it for myself easy with a nice drainage system and also a fill-up system, so it doesn't take me too long. If you want to see how I clean all of these fish tanks in under an hour, go check the video out up here. But yeah, like I say, you know, keeping fish and keeping a tank is really not that difficult. The important part is educating yourself, so, you know, knowing what to do. Now, how do you get knowledge? Well, by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Go subscribe down below, hit the like. I'll be happy to help you out. If you got any questions, also let me know in the comments or join the Discord server or whatever. Send me a message. I'll be happy to help you out. Because yeah, keeping fish is really fun, and I know it can be maybe a bit intimidating for many people. However, it really doesn't have to be. And maybe one day, you know, you can have a nice tank with some nice fish like these. These are angelfish here, really cool fish. One of my favorite fish, I mean, you got them up here too. Discus are really cool too. However, I wouldn't keep these as your first fish. Like, you'd probably be getting something like, I don't know, neon tetras here, or, well, guppies maybe even, or platies. Like, look at these beautiful, colorful fish, which are really cool as a beginner fish, for example. Anyway, there's a lot of things, and I can do more videos about that if you want. So if you guys want more beginner tutorial or videos, let me know also in the comments down below. Anyway, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say in this video. I basically just wanted to make this an easy video for people to understand that keeping fish tanks is really not that difficult and doesn't have to require that much maintenance, work, and effort. If you're just willing to dedicate yourself to learning something new, to really getting, you know, learning a new hobby almost, then fish keeping is definitely something for you, because it's a really fun hobby. There's a lot to learn. Like, learning potentials are like unendless. Like, there is no end to how much you can learn about fish and biology and nature and plants and things like that. And there's many great YouTube channels that you can look and get information from, including mine, so subscribe and hit the like as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, and watch this video here next where you can see what you must do to get that zero maintenance tank. So go watch that video here. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.